Hello everybody. So we're finally going to be finishing up this series with new timber mill. So it's been a while. It's been a while since we've done this. Eva Mojo decided to remove the no Steam option, so I can't actually record these by myself. So, okay, so my script says I was going to replay a ranked game just to like move around the map, and that seems like a really smart idea, but at this point we've committed. So we're gonna try to get over this really quickly. So again, same thing, mid fight, then defense, then push. So in my, I think it was the Warders video or whatever the last video was, I said Timbermill is really simple because you just play high grounds, and that's pretty much true. You're gonna roll out high ground, and LOS things if you can. There's not really a sniper in this patch. I'm not even gonna bother trying to fight Khan. So this is your default spot. You can play down here. You can play down here and like peek this angle, peek down there if you want, but it's not like super good. So high ground's your default. Low ground you can play if it's like a scrappy fight and you only need to be healing point, because that's all that low ground offers: safety and healing point. So there are these high grounds. These are these high grounds that you play if your offlane is aggressive. If your offlane isn't aggressive, then you don't need to worry about it. You can just sit back and chill on the original high ground. You just play, this cover. You have angles to play with, your corners to peek. You're fine. If you're playing aggressive, though, you can play up here. So this is where you go aggressive if your team is aggressive. You can do the exact same thing on the other side. Your last option is playing inside one of these cubbies. Don't play like out here or here because you can get shot, so like make sure you're properly LOSing your high ground. This is okay if you want to pocket point and you want to like be cheeky and like shoot stuff, and like it's fine, but it's very vulnerable to being pushed. You can drop out of here and then drop under, which is really hard to kill.
Okay, now you're rolling.
So you don't really want to play under unless the situation calls for it, and you don't really want to play under on this side either, because then your only option is to back up through here, which is really awkward, and there's like this big open space. And it's just really tough to push. Playing on these stairs is nice if you want to be aggressive on the left side. Otherwise, if you're playing aggressive on the right side, you're being on these stairs, or you're playing here in like alternate high ground or whatever. So for the push. So the way Timbermill push works, there is high ground 1 and high ground 2, and that's it. Now you have cart duty. You're going to be pushing cart. And then, once you can't push the cart anymore because you're out of choke, you try to take high ground 1. That's it. So whether you're taking high ground 1 by pushing these stairs, or you're taking high ground 1 by using this teleporter, that doesn't really matter. What matters is that you're taking high ground number 1. Then, at some point, the cart will push past high ground number 1 because your team will like have control over it or something. And then, your next job, this is going to sound so shocking, is to take high ground number 2. I wonder if I can like bait the con into never cap. Yo, he's actually coming for me. Hold up. No? Here con. Oh, he tried so hard. So you try to take high ground number 2. And again, whether that is walking up the stairs into here, like going up or whatever, or like dropping down into the teleporter, or just taking the teleporter outright, you're trying to get control of high ground number 2. Then once you get control of high ground number 2, you're kind of just playing up here until the fight goes in. He's going to cap, but that's okay. So yeah, high ground number 1, then high ground number 2. Whichever way your team goes up to those high grounds, that is the way that you go. Pushing is a bit spooky because, again, like really big open angles, usually backliners, it's very spooky, so yeah. For defense, again, you're never going to believe this, but you have to hold high ground number 1. So you can hold on top of high ground number 1, and that's okay. Like, it's riskier because they can TP, they can push you, it's like whatever. Usually you're going to be playing like on these stairs at some level. He's going to cap. The other option, if you actually want to hold high ground number 1, sometimes you can play back here and like still have LOS on stuff in the fight. So, then for high ground number 2, you're usually just playing, well, either you're holding on high ground number 2, which is like 100% fine, again, same thing, but riskier, a bit closer. Or you're playing in spawn. This position is perfectly fine for supports. Your final option is to be playing like back here, but I'll get back to you on that because we just failed the defense. Unlucky. So if you are going to play down here, remember, if you don't want to play like on high ground number 2 and you're not playing the spawn hallway, you can play on this grassy area back here. Usually you're going to be behind here, and that's like really it. If you ever end up in a situation like down here, you're kind of screwed over and you got to try to get yourself over to these stairs as fast as you can. Something I forgot to mention on the push, some teams will push around like this way. If you're pushing, follow that. You know, don't just try to take high grounds by yourself. And if you're defending, you don't really care until they get on top of you because you have control of high ground number 2 or high ground number 1. Probably if they're pushing that way, you probably have control over high ground number 2. So you just keep control of high ground number 2. They have to push through like these really weird ramps to get up to you. It sucks. So you don't care. You just let them push, do their thing. Don't like peek them super hard. Hold your high grounds. Play here, like whatever. You literally don't care. Just don't play down there. That's playing down there is like a last resort sort of thing. So that's really it. Like Timbermill sucks. There's a reason I left the map to last and didn't talk about it much because it really is high grounds. It's just play up there. If your team is aggressive, play up there or there. You can play below if you want, but it's not great. Then on the push, take high ground number 1. Then take high ground number 2. On the defense, hold high ground number 1. Then hold high ground number 2. So that's it. Sorry this took a while. I had other videos that I wanted to make, and I just wanted to make sure like I knew more about this map. Like I didn't want to make a video on something I wasn't 100% sure about, so hope you guys enjoyed, even though like nothing really changed about this map realistically for supports other than like you can now use where are they? You can now get into cubbies from point. You don't have to like go down or whatever they had it as, and these stairs exist now, which you can play on, but it's fine in the open, so it's not really good. But yeah, so I could have just did it anyways, but yeah, hope everybody enjoyed, and I'll see everybody next time. Bye-bye.